Hi all, welcome back to Epic Haunts, and you can see Simon waving. And if you're hearing this on the podcast, you're thinking, why the hell am I saying you can see Simon waving? I've decided through haunt season, so that is now until the end of Halloween in October, I'm going to put the shows on YouTube also. The other months they just stay as a normal podcast, but now we're getting into the nitty gritty, great stuff. I've decided you should see us and you can see what we're talking about as well. It's not going to look professional because I'm only recording this on Zoom. Anyway, with us today is obviously Simon with his Highlander hair. Simon, how you doing, mate?
I'm doing fantastic, mate. How are you?
And finally, a host who actually sounds good on the show, Gaz. Welcome back.
Thank you very much for having me once again. Thank you.
That's all good. So obviously, we only was recording once a month, but now we're getting more into it because news is starting to come along. And we're going to start off with the most important news, obviously. We're going to talk
SeaWorld.
Well, actually, we can start off with SeaWorld if you want.
I was thinking that because if we start with SeaWorld, we can go on to the main topic of this episode afterwards.
I'm quite happy to start with SeaWorld, and as people can see, it's already coming up. I haven't done that very well. There we go.
Yeah.
There we go. I told you people, I'm only doing it on Zoom, so I am not doing it over the top with OBS. But as you can see, here's the news from SeaWorld. Howl-O-Scream Orlando is back. Looks like they're calling this one See You Next Fear. And it's select nights from the September the 9th to October the 31st. Howl-O-Scream's returning to SeaWorld Orlando in 2022. After a successful inaugural Fear, Howl-O-Scream will once again wash ashore in Orlando September the 9th, 2022, with nowhere to hide. So, Simon, as you're the one that found this straight away, tell us what you think of this.
I'm really looking forward to it. What it is, I did find, I'm just trying to double check. I'm sure it said 28 selected nights from the dates that it shows on, that you can see on the screen. I'm just double checking because I don't want to get my facts wrong.
Yeah, because I think some nights they do the children's trick or treats.
Here it is. I've got the spiel as it says. Evade angry haunts as they rampage through scare zones, seek shelter indoors, only to find you've entered a house of horrors. And I'm not reading the rest. Evil is waiting, blah, 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 blah. Experience 28 nights of fully immersive fear in the fall of 2022.
Oh, Simon, I love when you read things.
I can't do it. But yeah, I did see it. It came out just before the news that we're going to talk about later in the show. But yeah, I will be potentially there for opening night. So, SeaWorld, hi.
So
hi.
Can I ask
we
you
can
guys
get you some media coverage if you want. Hi. Sorry?
Have you ever, I've never been to Howl-O-Scream. Have you guys been to it before?
Never been. It's always been at Busch Gardens in Tampa Bay. It only came last year to SeaWorld, so it's really new.
So we were planning to go for in 2019. Or 2021. No, 2020.
2021 is 2022 this year, mate.
Yeah, but 2020 that's when it was originally going to be happening, but obviously got pushed back. But we were supposed to go in then, and the tickets were very reasonable. You could get the whole event for like $109, and that's every night at the event. It was a fantastic offer. Hopefully, they'll do that again this year or something similar to it. But yeah, SeaWorld have officially announced their dates.
That's amazing. Well, like you said, we're all going to be there at a similar time, right? We're all going to be in September. So, I think that's definitely one that I want to try 100%.
Well, I don't know if you know, but this one, they are, if I'm right, they're allowed to touch you, aren't they? The scare actors?
They're not allowed to grab you. They are allowed to brush past you and touch you a little bit.
You love that, Phill.
Oh, I love it.
Love that.
I always love getting touched up.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Yeah. I mean, it'd be like a normal night. I'm paying for it as well.
Yeah.
Oh, dear.
It sounds like there's somebody else on this podcast. It's going right downhill very quickly.
Oh, God. Well, I've noticed every time he goes to Florida, he always gets a massage, or that's what he calls it.
Oh yeah, he actually showed me on his vlog when he was talking to me once. I go to this place here. It did look a bit seedy.
Dirty-minded Northerners, typical. Dirty mind, guys. So Howl-O-Scream, Simon. What type of ticket would you think of getting for it?
I'll probably get one that covers me for the whole time I'm there because, like I said, I'm going on the. Everyone knows by now. I'm going on the 8th of September, and I'm there till the 26th. So opening night is the 9th. I could do that whole weekend because I actually am staying at the Hilton Vacation Suites at SeaWorld. So I'm just around the corner for that weekend.
Very nice.
So,
and obviously I show up on the 10th. So in theory, if I wanted to, well, I probably wouldn't do it Saturday night, but Sunday night, if it was there, be very tempting to go in that night and do it.
Like I said, with it being 28 nights over that span period, I think we're only doing Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I think they're the only 3 nights we're going to do.
Well, it's probably actually, I personally think the best nights to go to it because that's when most people go to Halloween Horror Nights from the locals.
Yeah.
So
if you're working out, I think there's about 7 weekends and 3 nights per weekend. So there may be a couple of Thursdays in there. But yeah, I think it's going to be mainly Friday, Saturday.
If they had Thursdays, it'll probably be October.
Yeah, possibly.
Yeah. So, Gaz, what are you thinking of this thing? Obviously, you don't really know much about it.
Yeah, I don't really know much about it, but 100% I'll be there. We're only in Florida for like 9 nights, so I'll probably go once. I'll be honest with you. I'm not as lucky as you to be there. You're for 21, aren't you? And Simon,
I am there for 21 again.
Yeah,
it's probably going to be a long time before I do 21 again after this one.
Yeah, but no, I'll definitely 100%. I'll go once, 100%. And the plan is also to try and do HHN probably twice. I'll be honest with you, just because obviously I'm going to have my little boy with me, Anna. So just got to see what happens with Seb. So
Well, I think if you buy your normal ticket, if he loves it, that you can upgrade the tickets, can't you?
Yes.
So it's not a problem.
If you get a 1-night ticket, you're going to take a bit of time out of your night if you're at SeaWorld or you're at Halloween Horror Nights to expand the ticket.
Yeah,
you can do it, but it just takes a little bit of time out of the night. So all they do is they upgrade to whatever ticket you want and then deduct the price of what you paid. So.
Well, that's great, isn't it? Really, if you go and you like it,
because usually the frequent fear passes are like maybe what the cost of 2 nights would be.
Yes, it's
usually so.
It's well worth it, isn't it? 100%. If you're going to do more than once, definitely. 100%.
Oh, easily, miles better. So before we go any further, I'm going to ask everyone to do something because I've just clocked something before we kicked off. If everyone could quickly, just one by one. So Simon, you've got a sort of haunty T-shirt on. I see. What is it? Show me.
I have got. Do you want to play a game? It's the Solar Ride T-shirt from Thought Back
in the UK. Very nice. And Gaz, let's have a look at yours. I can see Halloween there.
I've got the Beetlejuice T-shirt from last year's HHN.
Yep. Nice. And I got a prototype T-shirt we won't have, and you won't see at the event. It was Epic Haunts. It was going to be the Halloween event tour, but now the new podcast has changed. There's 3 of us. I am going to do the T-shirt differently again. There is going to be a T-shirt. Do not worry, people. So if you see us and you're listening to the podcast, come and say hi. And if you're new in the future and we have them T-shirts on, and you see us in the park, give us a listen. That doesn't sound right, really. What's the point of saying that? Give us a listen, because if they see the T-shirt in the park, they're not going to hear this episode, are they?
I don't know.
Go back and listen, because to be honest, they might go back and listen because I've done it with a few podcasts that I've found in the past. I found one, listened to it, and then I've gone back to the back catalogue and listened to the rest. Yeah,
it's very true. That it's like when you see things on YouTube and that you watch one, you think I like this, I'll go back.
Prime example is yourself. We caught a few of your last few vlogs, and I've gone back and started watching from the beginning.
Yeah, the ones at the beginning are awful. But,
no, it's nice to find the beginnings, how you actually start and how nervous you are. It's great.
It's like anything, isn't it? It becomes a lot easier once you've done it a few times.
Yes, definitely.
Oh, yeah, I think it's really easy. I mean, don't know why people want to listen to me, but
I wonder that sometimes as well.
Oh dear, I am a fantastic person. And guys, does anybody have an idea what the going back to SeaWorld? Now I'm seeing come on ashore again. So is that a hint to some sort of theme?
I don't know. I think they're going to throw everything they can at it again. Personally,
I hope they give it some sort of one type of theme and then throw everything behind the theme, because I don't want it just to be different things. The second year, I think it needs a theme to it.
it all depends as to do. It depends on as well, because they do have a beer and food festival at the same time as well.
Can you get them lanyards for that?
I don't know. We'll find out. The more, like I said, we on our other show, the Epic Florida Project. There'll be more information about stuff like that on that show.
Fair enough. So should we then start moving across to the big news?
Yes.
The first ever I did that perfectly this time. The first ever speculation map of Halloween Horror Nights. 31. I was going to say then, that's a long time away. So this is speculation map volume 1.0. So Simon, go ahead and tell people before they cry.
Well, if the thing is, I'll start, like I always say, with these speculation maps. HN Nightmares is fantastic at getting these maps out. But what he did state in the tweet on this one, he said these are from rumours that he's heard in the community. So not all of these are, well, some of these will potentially be coming because they are in the works, but some are just what the community are putting out there. So he's added it to the map because this map is technically around about 2 weeks too early. He usually doesn't release it till the end of March. So we'll go with that. So you starting off as you walk into the park in the
we're going to do there's no point doing scare zones because there isn't any scare zones.
Instead of doing scare, we'll go into shows. He's got down Marathon and Mayhem returning for Halloween Horror Nights.
What's awesome, and obviously we didn't go last year, but I've heard on the RIP tour the speakers sounded absolutely terrible last year.
Yeah, supposedly the audio was a bit terrible last year. But
obviously the one we went to 29 was probably the greatest thing I ever saw there.
Yeah, I've got a fantastic video of that I'll at least watch it once a week because it does cheer you up.
Obviously, attractions interesting. We've got Hollywood Rip Rocket, Transformers, Revenge of the Mummy, Escape from Gringotts, Men in Black, The Simpsons Ride. But obviously, thank God there's no Men in Blacks. Not Men in Black. What's it called? Fast and Furious, because that's just crap.
Well, we will get into that when we talk about the houses. So
let's get into the houses.
Yeah, there is one caveat there. Revenge of the Mummy is still, whether it'll be open or not.
It'll be open.
Yeah, but anyway. So the first house you'll hit as you walk into, if you do it the wrong way around, because I always go to the right, everyone goes to the left. But everyone go to the left so you don't catch me going to the right. Come to the first house. It is Universal Monsters, The Mummy versus the Wolfman. Looks like it's a lot of people have said looks like it's a common theme that's going around now. We had Universal Monsters, we had Bride of Frankenstein last year, and this year they're going for the Mummy versus the Wolfman.
I'm actually looking forward to this.
Yeah, that will be awesome, won't it? It really will.
I'm a massive if you've listened to this podcast before, you know I'm a very big Universal Monsters fan. But having two of them in the house, I don't think it'll do it justice for each one. Well, I think they should be, if they're going to do it, do them. If they're going to make this like a regular thing of every year, give it the monster its own house. Don't mash them together.
I think it's probably more.
That's just me.
I think it's more down to time, mate, with Epic Universe. If what everything says is going to be good, there's going to be a monsters area. They want to get everything in quick enough, so people who may not be Universal fans normally are like, "Ooh, this could be fun theme park to go to when it comes out."
So, Gaz, are you familiar with the Universal Monsters?
Yeah, well, it was at 29, wasn't it? They had the Monsters house, which we did, and it was awesome. You know, I think it was probably, I think it was Christie's favourite house, to be honest with you.
And mine.
Yeah, it was
very close to another one, but yeah.
And you know, I think what was great about it is when we was queuing up, you'll remember this. You know, the big projection on the wall and the music, and you know, it just really got you in the feeling before you got in the house, didn't it?
Obviously, that was in was it around G&F, wasn't it?
It was in the parade building, the new parade building, right at the very back of the park.
Yeah.
So it was a bit of a walk to get to, but you could always get that one done at Stay and Scream because it was one of the early release houses, and when you stayed at Stay and Scream near Simpsons.
See, you know, like you said, obviously, you know, when you go to the park and you start, when we went and we didn't do the RIP the other night, we went right to the back of the park and started at the back.
Yeah, that's what I mean. That's what I mean by going to the right as you walk in, head towards Simpsons and head that way.
Yeah, that's exactly what we did. But yeah, Universal Monsters, really enjoyed it last time. So no, I'll be looking forward to this one, definitely. Yeah, it'll be good.
So moving on then to the next house, which will be in a shared soundstage, Seaside Village. First thoughts, Phil. So I'll leave my thoughts to the very end, but first thoughts on Seaside Village.
It's so hard because I don't really know anything about American seaside villages. So do I take it off like The Simpsons, things like that?
Have you not been on the Twitterverse then? Because the Twitterverse, I could say it's going to be maybe a follow-up from Dead Man's Wharf, which you personally seen. I didn't. Scare Zone.
See, I'm a bit lost like you, Phil.
The Scare Zone, Dead Man's Wharf, outside of Earthquake then.
Personally, I always think ones like this Seaside Village is going to have a lot of seaweed, hopefully dead fish smell, rotten fish, you know, things like that. I think it'll be absolutely awesome. I'm hoping though. Do you remember in the cinema one, Simon?
Cinema. Oh, Slaughter Cinema.
Yeah, cinema. Did they do something? Was that? I can't remember. So many now.
No, that was a compilation of B movies. Right, there's all sorts in it.
Yeah, but wasn't there a part when you was in that underwater boat or something? You had all the sea animals and monsters.
No, that was a house called Depths of Fear.
Depths of Fear. That's the one.
That was terrible.
Yeah, but it was like a cheesy B movie. I can see this being the same.
Yeah, I think it will, but I think Gaz will understand this reference a bit more than me. The first thing, as soon as it said Seaside Village, I thought it's just going to take a picture of Will.
No, see, I think Blackpool when I see Seaside Village. I'm thinking Blackpool.
No, I'm thinking of Rill because it's derelict. There's nothing left. Sorry if you live in Rill. But I know I used to go to Rill quite a lot when I was a kid, and then watching it be neglected for years and years and years. And it's just like the promenades are there with all boarded up and the piers fall into pit. It was just an absolute wreck last time I went there back about 15 years ago. And that's the first thing that popped into my head.
Yeah, well, I think like Phil, I'm a bit lost on that because
it's an original as well. So originals we really can't get much on.
Yeah, you can't get much off it. You know, my first thought when I saw it, I thought I'll Google this, see what comes up. You know, I put Seaside Village in America, nothing came up.
It's a weird one.
Yeah, it's a strange one, isn't it?
You never know. It might be Thor's Village. You never know.
Yeah, definitely.
But he was in a Seaside Village when he decided to retire or leave the Avengers. Never mind.
Looking at some of this, theme-wise, looking at the years and that, is there a theme to this? No, it's the first one, but are we looking 80s again?
No. There's definitely not an 80s vibe because the next one, Fair Street. Netflix.
Oh yeah, 90s. So maybe it's a 90s vibe. I'm getting.
Netflix's Fair Street is down to be in a scare zone, soundstage. Sorry, I've seen it, and I told Phil this. It will make a fantastic house, but the story for me was boring.
See, I'm with you there. I think it'll make an amazing house. I watched obviously there was 3 parts, wasn't there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I watched the first and second. I was really into it. I watched the third.
Oh, the third was.
I didn't even finish the third one. You know, me and Christy watched it, and I lost all interest in it. I lost all interest in the third one of Fear Street. You know, I just didn't. I was like, I just don't get this. It just. But like you said, it'll make an amazing house. You know, with all the neon lights and things like that.
I was saying the characters are prime for a Halloween Horror Nights house. The story is prime for a Halloween Horror Nights house, but it never gripped me.
No,
it never enticed me. I was after like 20 minutes of watching it, I realised what was happening. I'm like, yeah, I know. I've seen the plot line, and don't get me wrong. You can at me if you like, but this will make a fantastic house.
100%.
And I will go in it, and I will really enjoy it. Yeah, but I won't. I just don't see the massive fascination with it.
Well, let me have a chat now. Now, yeah, I agree. The third one was a bit of a letdown for me personally, but the first two, especially number one, set in the 90s, it was a good old fashioned 90s slasher thing, just with a bit of tinge of B movie in it, and I just think it worked perfectly. The first one. Now, I'm really hoping they don't try and fit all three movies in one house.
I think they will. I don't think they're going to stretch this out.
I just think it's going to
be a mega
terrible.
house. If you look at where it is, it's in one of the sound stages at the back towards New York. It will be a mega house.
I would rather them just go with the 90s movie, personally. But
yeah, if they do, but then people will say, "Well, I wanted to see part." You're never going to, whatever they do. This is guaranteed, and this is what it always like in the Halloween Horror Nights community. You're never going to please everyone.
You see, the first two, you can easily put them as houses together, but the third one's set back in the 18th century, isn't it?
Yeah,
it's just totally different. It'll just take me totally out of it. The first two are set. One's in is it the 70s and one's in the 90s.
The first one's in the 90s, second one's in the 70s because it starts off in the modern day, technically modern day. And then moves back to an origin story afterwards.
What I can't figure out is that they should have released the 70s first, then done the 90s, and then I understand why they had to go back in time because loads of them. Sorry, people, for spoilers, but basically they time traveled.
Yeah,
but I think you could set it on the first two movies, but I would just skip the third movie. At least skip the third movie. If you're going to have the third movie in there, just put right at the end a little bit of it. I don't care. Third movie was rubbish.
Let us know in the comments down below what you think.
Also, let us know on Epic Haunts on Twitter. Quite simple.
I was going to leave that to the end, but never mind.
Yeah, but I tell people through my shows.
Right, we'll move on to the next one, which is going to be another. Well, personally, I don't think it'll be there, but The Last of Us. Does anybody actually know anything about this other than what you've heard on Twitter or anything else?
It's a computer game. What was around in the early 2000s?
Oh, a little bit later than that. A little bit later than that. It is a computer game, but the reason why I said I don't think this will be coming is a post-apocalyptic zombie apocalypse, and it's based on the game The Last of Us. But there is a TV series coming on HBO Max. It's been pushed back to 2023, so this house is not coming because that's what I think it was there for. It was there because this new series was coming out, and now the series has been pushed back. It's not going to be there. Sorry if you are a fan of it, and I do want some more video game representation at Halloween Horror Nights.
What do you remember when they sent that survey out a few years ago, and they were talking about having a video game / what was it, comics or TV series?
Yeah, it's like a Comic-Con event with video games.
They were going to do like a Halloween Horror
retro,
Nights, all that stuff. It sounded really cool, but obviously the pandemic destroyed that. But I don't really know much about the game. I must admit, when I started getting in my 20s and that, I stopped playing computers.
Well, I have played The Last of Us. I've still got it on my PlayStation 4 because it came as a free game on PlayStation Plus. So I've got the game.
I watched the actual trailer on it the other night on YouTube, and the game looks all right, so maybe it would make a good house, but I think, like you said, it's not going to come, is it? Because
does it fit in as well? Because do you want that there if it's zombies and then you got the Evil Dead as well?
Well,
wouldn't you say the Evil Dead when that comes up Fear Street? It's weird. There seems to be a lot of things what are doing the same thing. But anyway, going to the next one, we'll get to Evil Dead.
Yeah, the next one is The Curse of Pandora's Box. If you want to go and see this, search it on YouTube. It is a house from Halloween Horror Nights, Hollywood.
Yeah,
that's 2 years it's been there for now. So
apparently,
it's kind of like a bit of an original swap or an IP swap kind of thing, because we're getting The Curse of Pandora's Box, and I think they're getting Scarecrow.
Wow.
Yeah.
So there's a bit of an IP swap going ahead. That's the theory behind it, anyway. But The Curse of Pandora's Box is somebody opened up Pandora's box and all hell breaks loose.
Doesn't that sound like something else as well? Just a movie with nails in his head. What they're making a new movie of.
Hellraiser.
Yep, when they're making the new one, then it's going to be a female lead instead of the lead role.
It could be their way of trying to get some form of Hellraiser into it, because if you know anything about Hellraiser, the rights for Hellraiser are ridiculous to try and get the rights for it. They've tried. You can tell they're trying. It's just that so many companies own parts of Hellraiser. It's to try and get them all.
That makes you
agree.
wonder. See how this goes. And with the new Hellraiser coming with the female lead, as I said, maybe it's easier to get the rights for the brand new one. And that's what they're just testing this to see what people think.
Maybe.
Yeah, I'll be honest. I watched the Pandora's Box YouTube video the other day. Be honest.
Can you actually do any work?
Be honest with you, I watched the video and I thought, be honest with you, it wasn't a great house for me. It's not one that I would be.
To be honest, though, you can't really compare. Well, you can, but Hollywood's houses
are tents.
Yeah. But a lot of them, they have a lot of black curtains.
Yeah.
They have a lot of black. They have a lot of dead space because they can't design the mazes the way they want to, where it's constantly flowing. They have to put gaps in it, and it just. Hollywood is a completely different kettle of fish to Orlando, and people try to compare them. You can do if you want, but personally, I wouldn't, because it's like totally chalk and cheese. They just don't mix together. Move on to another original. I'm going to butcher the hell out of this name.
El Chupacabra. I can't say either.
Yeah, probably. El Chupacabra. Yeah. It's. I'm not doing my own research, but I'm going off what I've listened to. It's a urban legend from either Puerto Rico or Mexico.
Yeah.
So it's It's like a devil goat sucking vampire.
Sort of dog thing, yeah.
Yeah, it's a creature of some sort, isn't it? Yeah, I've seen it myself. Not in real life, obviously. I
remember when it first came to fruition, it was all over the news about it. It was quite interesting to hear about.
Yeah, it sounds interesting. It's getting into urban legend things. I
do wonder though, would it work just as if it's meant to be about the goat sucking blood sucker? That's not interesting at all. What if it's a hybrid human version, what's eating animals and humans?
Well, if you look at the spec map, if you're watching this, you'll see it says original underneath in it. So if it's
there, it is. I just heard it.
If it's original, they have got their own spin on it. They can do whatever the hell they want with it. So
it could be a Mexican wrestler in a mask. Then
it could be, or it could be just be Jack Black and a legal tag. We'll move on to the next one because that joke was terrible. Underground Creatures. It's down as an original. Over in, I think it's going to be one of Sprung Tents as well. I know a lot of people are thinking it's a revamp of a house back from Halloween Horror Nights 5, where it was like underground New York and all that. I'm hoping, and I've got my fingers crossed, that this is because we had Seeds of Extinction. We saw that the plants came alive. What about if the animals went underground and now they're starting to come back up to take over the Seeds of it?
Or it could even be about Futurama and the underground people in New York.
Yeah, could be. Well,
it could be that type of idea, mutated people.
Well, that's where the house from Halloween Horror Nights 5 came from, I think. Even though Futurama wasn't around then.
But they've done the same sort of houses over and over again, so it wouldn't surprise me. Halloween Horror Nights 5 has been a very long time away. So, but I think this could actually be a pretty cool house, actually. I think I could enjoy it. I think it's, yet again, the RIP tour, they were saying, like, being in the tube stations in, like, New York.
Well,
and that would be...
Well, they say New York. Actually, another thing that pops into my head about these underground creatures is it's going to be hard to find if you want to watch it, but there's a film called Creep in the UK, made in the UK. It's not the American one, and you'll just see it looks like the front of a tube train. That's the actual thing with Creep over the top, and it's the deranged person who attacks people in the subway. But he looks like a creature because he's got really long, skinny arms. He's got a hunchback. It was that film. Was a really good film, a very low budget. But I'm thinking if it's something like that, that would be freaky because it's very dark. There's a lot of bits to pop out. The tubes are running around. You've got noises behind you. If it's based in the subway or even the UK London tube or the New York tube, that'll be something I think. Go on, Gaz. What do you want to say?
Yeah, no, I'll be honest with you. I think that'd be a good house. You know, something like like you said, in subway or something like that. I think it'd be really cool. I really do. You know, we like you said, some weird creatures running around. No, I think it'd be good. But it's like, I think we spoke the other day about, do you remember the ride that used to be Universal where it was it Disaster, was it called? That was in like a tube station.
Oh, I love that ride.
Yeah, if they brought something back like that, I think that'd be really good, in that type of thing.
Be interesting. Yeah. I think you'd have to be in a soundstage to be as good as that, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, if they brought that, it definitely would have to be. But what they do, I don't think they do anything as big as what Disaster was, because that was like a big set piece, and that would take up nearly all the house. But something similar to it would be nice. Right, let's move on, shall we?
Yeah.
Evil Dead.
So where for people listening, where would that be, mate?
That will be one of the stupid long walks that you've got to do. Where, like example, Ash versus Evil Dead was. It's the side of ET, over in the kids zone, and it's one of them that's got like huge long walk.
That's nice to know. This is where these things get me. I can't see the Evil Dead and Seaside Village because I think they're going to be almost the same.
No, Evil Dead's going to be very similar. If Evil Dead is in it, Evil Dead is like another form of zombies, which is the same as Last of Us. That's another thing why I don't think Evil Dead will be there.
Or The Last of Us. Yeah, there's too many similarities already going on. The underground creatures, again, you could say they're going to be like mutated zombie type people. Obviously, they're not going to be zombies, but there's just, unless that's meant to be the pattern of this year, and we're starting to see it.
Well, like we said, it's a speculation map. Things change. This could be a massive ruse. It could just bring out on April the 1st to say what I sent out was an absolute hogwash. We don't know.
April the 1st, surely that's been you send a fake one out.
Well, no, he's been setting you up to say with this one. So you never know. But we'll move on from Evil Dead because he has actually been an Evil Dead house for the 2013 remake.
On the TV series, yeah.
Yeah. No, it was on the. Was it a TV series?
I'm sure it was based on.
No, that was Ash versus Evil. That was Ash. But there was one. The Evil Dead. I'm sure it was, or was it the House? No, that wasn't. Cabin in the Woods.
If it was House versus Evil Dead, it was a TV series.
Yeah, it was Ash versus Evil Dead. That was 2000. I can't remember now.
I didn't go to it, so okay.
I think 2007 that was 17. Sorry. We'll move on to the next one, which is down for being in the massive big parade building right at the back of the park again. Halloween.
Not happening.
Well, if it's Halloween 3, I'll be happy.
Yeah, that's how Halloween works. If it's based on the new movies, what's the point of bringing it out when the third one's going to be out next year, and then you could put them all as one big movie in a big show, as one of the big warehouses again? I just don't see the point of it.
Well, like other podcasts have said, Halloween 3 was being built at Hollywood. It was being built for Halloween Horror Nights 30.
I agree with Halloween 3, that's worth it on the witches thing, but if it's based on the 3 new movies, I don't see the point yet when the second one's not even been out.
I don't think it'll be the 3 new movies because if the rights are all over the show.
Yeah, it's just a sheer fact the second one hasn't been out yet, so what's the bloody point? Just wait.
Supposedly it's 3 different companies with 3 different directors, different actors. So it's just so many different. There's so many rights problems with this new series that they're doing. These new 3 films. It's going to be very hard to get that one because they've already got the rights for the original. They've done Halloween 1, Halloween 2, Halloween 4. I know Season of Witch has got.
Maybe it's Halloween H2O.
Could be.
I've actually seen Halloween H2O as
well. That's the Rob Zombie one, isn't it?
Is it Rob Zombie film?
I think that's the Rob Zombie one, isn't it? So they've got a relation with Rob Zombie. Potentially. It could be coming. But if it's going to be any Halloween.
Halloween's going to be gone.
I think if it's going to stay there, I'm hoping it's Halloween 3. Because Season of Witch is still one of the best Halloween films out there. Watch it every year. It's definitely a Halloween film, left, right, and centre. Even though it's not got Michael Myers in it, it's still absolutely hilarious. The first child to be killed on screen. I've still got that record. The first child ever to be killed on screen.
Of course, it's going to still have the record. You can't take a record with the first child being killed on screen, can you? Yeah,
but it's the first film that did it.
Yeah, good point, Phil.
It took them a long time. Yeah, you know what I mean. Shut up. Anyway, go on then, Phil. You take away the last one.
Oh yeah, I can't wait for this one, mate. It's an absolute beauty, and everyone's looking forward to this. It's the
It's that good.
weekend.
Gaz has left.
I plugged my laptop in earlier, but I didn't turn the power.
Right,
power
so
socket
this is
off.
going to be in J. I don't even know what J is. Oh, I'll tell you what.
J.
Actually makes sense because J is where the worst ride is.
Jay is going to be in
Don't-
potentially
don't-
going to be in the Fast and Furious queue.
What
Don't ever
absolutely
talk,
makes
don't ever
sense.
talk about the Fast and Furious like that. It's my favourite ride.
Are you kidding me?
I love Fast and Furious. It's
No,
all about family, isn't it?
I know you like the movies, but you cannot love
Oh.
this ride.
Me and Seb, we love that ride.
We need to get Phill on it when he's drunk.
No,
he's not been on it. He's not been on it. He's not been on it at the right time.
Mate,
That's what it is.
even the people you went on with are drunk on their own podcast have stated it's a load of rubbish.
Oh, it's
Still enjoyed it. They still enjoyed it that night.
It's going to be bulldozed down in a couple of years. I am sure of that.
It's a great ride. Absolutely
It
great.
is the worst ride in history.
Anyway, let's go away from the ride. What's going in? What's going in the queue?
The Weekend.
Yeah,
The
Weeknd.
artist, The Weekend.
I don't. He still haven't got a clue who he is. I've listened to some of his music. I've watched some of his music videos. And yeah, it's a collaboration that if he's got his insight into it, call it The Weekend. I'll still go through it.
Yeah.
Weird things you just don't know what the house is going to be about. What makes it pretty?
And I'll not be funny, but that house, that location, has always had a fantastic house. Since 2015, has always had an awesome house.
I've
Until
read
Fast
that
and Furious took over.
he's got a new album coming out that's meant to be a bit more horror type. So maybe his music's going to be in there for that house.
But he also is being, has he got a partnership with Universal as well? Same as Billie Eilish. Billie Eilish had a partnership with Universal, and now The Weeknd has as well. So it makes sense. If you don't like it, go to the event, go in the house. If you don't like it, don't go again. Leave the queue shorter for people who want to go in it.
I mean, every house. I mean, looking at the map, I know it's only version 1. I'm not overexcited by it, but the sheer fact is, it's version 1.
Yeah,
it doesn't mean I wouldn't go and do it. If this was the final map, I would still happily go.
Oh yeah, I would. It's still an event that even without the IPs are there to draw new people in. Which, to be honest, Fair Street is not my cup of tea, but it'll draw a lot of people in. The Last of Us will bring the gamers in if they want it. The Weekend will bring a lot of the younger crowd in. And that's what Universal are trying to do. They want to bring the younger crowd in because us old fogies, as they call us, who keep going to Halloween Horror Nights, we're not the target audience anymore. And people need to understand that they need to get the money in so we can have these events every year.
No,
So
100%, you're right there. And I'd be straight with me. You know, me not being as seasoned pros like yourself, the big IPs would draw people like myself in. You know, he's only been once. You know,
because I think we explained it on the last episode. But so, what drew you into Halloween Horror Nights in 29?
I think it was like Ghostbusters. You know, things like that. You know, it was the big ones. You know, yeah, it was all the big ones. You know, that's what drew me and Christy in because we're not massive horror type of people. You know, but now because of it, we've become to like horror more. You know, and
that's what it does.
Yeah, definitely.
Because, like I say, I've explained it before. I might explain it quickly again. I went to Halloween Horror Nights 18. There was no IPs. It was all originals, and it was based on the Legend of Bloody Mary, and all the houses were linked together. And I loved it.
I'd love something like that.
I just went to it, and I absolutely loved it. I enjoyed every single. I think there might have been some IPs in there, but I didn't realise they were IPs because I wasn't into my horror like I am now.
Can I tell you what won't be on any map because it ain't coming ever, people? Warner Brothers are not going to give it over.
Until Warner Brothers officially say that what Horror Comes Home is completely dead in the water, we will never have Pennywise at Halloween Horror Nights.
That would be awesome, though, wouldn't it?
Oh, it would. It would. I would love to have a Pennywise versus Jack house. That would be funny.
See, what really devastates me is I'm only getting into it now. I really wish I would have gone to the Purge. That's
I've done loads of them. I'll tell you what, though. I was thinking of something. If I could have a theme for Halloween,
I'll just carry on with what Gaz said. Then, if you want the Purge, all you need is a very, very good IP to get dropped at the last minute. and the purge is coming in.
I tell you what, I'd love as a
Chocolate.
thing for a whole houses. People watching on YouTube and sit behind me. This guy has some of the best baddies, monsters going. Batman, you put Batman proper, not the kiddie cartoon Batman stuff, but proper Batman with a deranged Joker, Scarecrow, all these characters. You've got this as a house on its own would be awesome. I'm telling you now, Batman
that would be good, wouldn't it? I never thought
Yeah.
about that. No, that would be good.
Batman set in the dark. There you go, Simon. I finally hit the mic. I mean, Batman is set in the dark in a stingy Gotham City, things falling apart. You've got Penguin, you've got Riddler, Two-Face. I mean, so many characters. It would be absolutely awesome to watch. Just actually physically go through Gotham City.
Well,
Yeah,
what we'll do, we'll put a little slash in that. And what we'll do, we'll come back on the next show if there's not much news. Let's Gaz do his perfect HHN because I've done mine, I think. And Phil, you do yours.
I will do one. I've actually got a very good plan. I've been getting stuff off TikTok, people, and
then we'll get Gaz to do his perfect HHN. So you'll have to come up with 10 houses, 5 scare zones, and I'm going to say 2 shows because usually I have 2 shows, but there's only 1 at the moment.
Yeah, no, I would love to do that. That sounds like a great idea.
I've got a show. I can tell you a show now. I'm going to upset everyone. Bill and Ted dead.
Yeah. Yeah.
Fishing.
What, are you a big Bill and Ted fan, Simon?
Bill and Ted's Halloween Adventure, yes. And the films, actually, I did quite enjoy. I can still watch them.
I went into
it. Cheesy as hell, but they're actually still fun.
I went into the Bill and Ted thing, and all the Americans were telling me before, oh, this is so rude. You're going to be so shocked. I walked out and I thought I just watched a weak version of Celebrity Juice. There was that type of humor.
No, it wasn't anything like Celebrity Juice. I would have left it within 2 seconds.
The humor is
I cannot stand Keith Lemon.
The humor is
At
rubbish.
me if you want.
I don't care.
I hate you.
Had me want a Bill and Ted's. The humor wasn't funny. It was childish to me. If they think that's risque humor, maybe I'm a bit more risque. So I'm going to say about that. It wasn't funny humor. It was predictable to me. I just think Americans' humor is boring.
Oh, that's American humor.
I'm about to get beaten up at Halloween Horror Nights 31. Yeah. It was good knowing you all.
Well, we'll just make sure don't attack the one with the ponytail.
Yeah, don't attack the one with the arm with no hair.
Oh, well, you're not shaving all your hair off tomorrow, are you?
If I have to.
You might have to now.
I think I have to get my face painted at the event now, so no one realizes it's me.
God.
People, I'm joking. I don't find the humor funny myself, but I can understand why people find it funny. It's just not my type of humor. More risque, more dry humor.
You're more into getting massages, aren't you?
There's nothing scary about a massage. You watch, Gaz is saying this. I'm going to be walking to that massage parlor in September, and boom, he's going to be laying in there in a room. I'm going to go, that's Gaz. But by the way, if you're saying why we're saying Gaz, Gaz, give me your news. What have you done?
Oh well, so we've booked to go to Florida. We are now going to Florida in September. So yeah, it's all booked, done, dusted. We paid for the tickets to Universal. Everything's done and dusted. So yeah, we're looking forward to that now.
So my plan is for a couple of nights, I'm going to try and book, if I can, 2 nights in either Aventura or Cabana Bay. I haven't decided which one yet. I feel like if I go in Aventura, I'm being a traitor to what I think of the place. Cabana Bay's winning me for one simple reason. If the bar is going to be Halloween themed up again, I just think that would be awesome.
Yeah, this year as well, Simon, I'll get you into the if there's something set up in there this time, okay?
Yeah, well, I'm just going to walk in anyway. I'm part of Epic Show, part of Epic Show's network.
They may not let me in after. They may not let me in after slagging down Bill and Ted.
Well, they should, to be honest, I'm technically an admin of one of the biggest groups of Endless Summer, so they should let us in anyway.
Talking about that group, guys, people go and find that out. Endless Summer something group done by me.
Yeah, they changed the name every 3 weeks, so we don't know what you.
No, the name hasn't been changed for ages, but there's also a new Facebook group now.
Yeah, you set a new one up the other day. What's the new one you've set up, Phil?
Yeah, we just keep on talking. I'll find out. Some Universal Orlando Hotels unofficial group. So I thought, why are we not having all the Universal hotels in one group where everyone can get together and chat if they're staying at a hotel, if they want to choose a hotel? Plus, adding the new hotels, what we will be talking about, what I've seen there could be possible free hotels at Epic Universe.
Yeah.
And we'll get more into that in
Epic
Epic
Florida
Florida Project.
By the way, quick cheap plug people, yet again, my videos are still coming out on YouTube under Epic Phil, where I did my Orlando holiday in December. Go and check them out.
Everyone can start seeing how much I roll my eyes now at all these.
Cheap plug king. Oh, well, actually, cheap plug king there. This is where Gaz is saying, well, actually, Phil, I'm a bigger YouTuber than you. And you should go and check out my YouTube vlogs of me and my family, the Incredible Wilsons.
Well, all I'm going to tell you is next weekend, we're going to go and do Camelot Rises, which I can't wait to do. And I can't wait to report back to you guys, and hopefully if, we get a spare minute, we can do a little, we can have a little chat about that, because you've done it, haven't you, Simon?
Yep. And I'll be going back again, hopefully, because I think they've now gone towards the kids. So more news. They're doing kids shows in September, in the Saturday afternoons. £25 a car. They're doing Ghostbusters Afterlife and another one. I can't remember. But every Saturday at 2:00, they're doing a kids version. So you can go with your kids. So obviously it's not going to be as intense as what the other ones are, but you get to watch.
The movie, which we go to. So I'm going a week on Friday and I'm watching a film I've never seen called The Babadook. Have you ever seen that?
Babadook. Yeah, seen The Babadook.
I've never seen it.
I won't say anything.
Yeah, so we'll see.
You don't have to spoil the movie, but what's it about?
Is it a creature?
If I tell you what it's about, it's going to spoil the movie. That's the problem with that one. It's one of them. It's one of them. It's one of them films. If you tell them what it's about, it spoils the film. So just go there with an open mind and enjoy it.
Yeah, no, I'm going to enjoy that next Friday. So that's something.
If you don't enjoy the film, at least you'll enjoy the atmosphere.
Yeah,
and I presume you're both probably going to do Alton Towers this year for their scare.
It all depends because it's the 25th anniversary this year of Scarefest.
I think it is, yeah.
Yeah. So I'm hoping they go and change some things because it's been the same for 3 years. I know we've been during the pandemic, but it's 3 years on the trot. They've had the same houses.
Towers, yet again, for the podcast and a YouTuber, the Incredible Wilsons, you could give free press passes to these two and they would go and do it properly.
It's, don't get me wrong, the Tale of the Towers and Altonville Mine Tours, fantastic. Toxic Graveyard, great the first year. Second year, it was just the same thing over and over, but it was raining. And because it's an outdoor maze, it wasn't that good for me. But I'm hoping to change it up a little bit. I really do. So
yeah, well, you're heading there on Sunday, aren't you?
I'm going there Sunday for opening weekend to see if there's any massive changes. I think I do believe there's a new retro squad this year. But
you'll have to let us know who that is, Simon. Definitely.
Yeah, I don't. There's rumours around it's going to be one of them. That's like a cook around with a spin cycle on it. But that, excuse me, is very similar to Enterprise, and it's in the X sector. Why would they have two rides very similar next to each other? But
yeah, fair enough. Well, I think we've run out of haunt stuff to talk about on this episode, so we're gonna end this here, guys. If any news comes out, I'm gonna have a very bad recording myself, because if it comes out through the week, I'm going to be in Tenerife, so Simon's going to have to take control of the recording, and I'm going to have to use my phone because I've decided not to take the laptop because there's a lot of thieving going on in Tenerife right now, so I'd rather not take more technology than I need.
Yeah.
It's better to be safe than sorry, especially now I don't need to do a UK locator form to come back. I don't feel like I need the laptop. So if any more news comes out, we will be back, but I may sound, Tenny, what might be better for you lot if you don't hear me as much.
Well, my camera just went weird then. But
no, it's fine. Don't worry about it.
If you can follow us on Twitter at Epic Haunts and click on the subscribe button down below for epic shows. That'd be fantastic. Thank you.
Yep, well, you'll get loads more content as well. Also, go and follow me on Epic Phill on YouTube. And if you want to talk to me on Twitter, it's it's at Epic Phill. And plug yourself away, Gaz.
Yeah, and if you want to follow us on YouTube, it's The Incredible Wilsons. We just do our family vlogs. So yeah, come and see us. Like I say, we'll have some HHN content end of this year.
Yep. So that's
Yes,
it.
we all will.
So from all three of us, see you soon. And Simon, say the words.
Stay spooky.
Bye, guys.